Welcome to the Speeding Bulletin report for January the 11th to January 17th, 2008. My name is Steve Younis from supermanhomepage.com, and this is all the Superman news for that week. It's been a big week in movie news. Early in the week, Entertainment Weekly reported that a decision on the future of the Justice League of America film would be made this week, and then we received official word via Variety and Hollywood Reporter that it was. The JLA movie has been postponed. The script is in need of rewrites, and that won't happen for some time due to the writer's strike. The actors have all been let go, and the crew have received their 1 week's notice to find new jobs. And as far as we know, the movie could start up again around the middle of the year, but stay tuned to the Superman homepage as we continue to follow the fallout from this decision. Also this week, according to an article in Variety, the sequel to Superman Returns won't be seen until 2010. My sources tell me that Bryan Singer is still on board as director, but with the JLA movie now being postponed, the WB could look to get the next Superman movie in place to fill that gap. Okay, in other news, HighDefDigest.com reported this week that Warner Brothers has announced that the HD DVD edition of Justice League The New Frontier will be released on March 18th instead of February 26th as originally announced. This delay is part of the WB's plan to discontinue releasing the DVDs in HD DVD format after May, deciding to exclusively deliver future high-definition releases on the Blu-ray disc format. The standard DVD and the Blu-ray disc will still be released on February 26th. Speaking of Superman movies, supermancinema.co.uk managed to locate an unused Superman movie script written by Cary Bates, Ilya Salkind and Mark Jones. This script, titled Superman Reborn and written in 1992, was supposed to see Christopher Reeve return to the role of Superman Clark Kent, but the WB decided instead to run with the new TV series Lois and Clark. You can download the script PDF files from supermancinema.co.uk. On the TV front this week, the Kids WB has updated the official Legion of Superheroes animated series website. The updated website contains a video trailer, trivia challenge game, photo gallery, video clip and a desktop creator. Check it out at kidswb.warnerbrothers.com. And a quick reminder that the next new episode of Smallville, titled Persona, will air in the US on Thursday, January 31st at 8 PM. This is the 10th episode of Season 7, and it looks very likely that Season 7 will finish on the 15th episode due to the writer's strike. In the comics, writer Kurt Busiek continues his QFK, Questions for Kurt forum at the Superman homepage, answering your questions about his latest Superman comic book, Superman 672. You can read Kurt's answers at the website now. Comic books we reviewed at the Superman homepage this week were Superman 672 was reviewed by Adam DeChanel, who gave this issue a 1 out of 5, saying it was junk. Harsh review? Maybe. Barry Fryman reviewed Countdown to Final Crisis 16, giving it a 3 out of 5, saying, "Keeping most of the issue focused on the Monitor Monarch war makes me happy. It gives me something to sink my teeth into." JLA Classified number 50 was reviewed by Neal Bailey, who said, "This all comes down to storytelling, and Roger Stern is flat out one of the masters when it comes to that sort of thing." He gave the issue a 4 out of 5. 52 Aftermath, 4 Horsemen number 6 was given a 4 out of 5 by Neal Bailey this week, stating, "There are a few elements of this plot that I didn't like as much as the rest of the issues, but it's still a pretty strong resolution for what I found to be quite an enjoyable series." And last of all, Neal also reviewed Infinity Inc. number 5, saying, "All in all, this series has really offered me nothing thus far of the promise coming out of 52. He gave the issue a 2 out of 5. Superman comics shipping this week from January 16th, and there are only 3 this week. Countdown to Final Crisis 15, Justice League of America number 17, and Legion of Superheroes in the 31st Century number 10. And if you haven't already read Justice League of America number 17, DC Comics released a 5-page sneak peek earlier this week, which you can check out online. In merchandise news this week, comicbookbin.com interviewed illustrator Scott Stewart, who has a new children's book set to be released on January 29th, titled Superman and the Robo Monster. The book is written by Jake Black and published by Meredith Books. Superman homepage reviewer James Lance continues our retro reviews, reviewing story arcs from the Superman radio series. This time around he's taken a look at the 12-part story Dr. Deutsch and the Radium Mine, which sees Superman trying to thwart the master plan of Dr. Deutsch and his foreign agents. In another retro review, Scotty V continues his Superboy TV series reviews, this week examining the 7th episode of Season 1 titled The Beast and Beauty, which he rated a 1 out of 5. The Superman homepage is pleased to be able to give away 2 all-new Super Friends Hour Season 1 Volume 1 DVDs. And that's the DVDs there. And the contest, all you have to do to enter is to unscramble the tiles on our contest page to reveal the code phrase. Entries close midnight Monday, January 28th, and the winners will be contacted via email and will also be announced on the front page of the website on Tuesday, January 29th. Enter the contest now. And that's all the Superman news for the week January 11th to January 17th. I'm Steve Younis from SupermanHomepage.com.
Aha! Welcome to the House of Luthor edition of Bailey Planet. Today I'm going to talk a little bit about what's happened to Lex Luthor, or what is not happening to Lex Luthor. We have seen him run the gamut of an arc and then plop down into kind of a semi-useless, underutilized character, to being completely absolved of everything pretty much willy-nilly, to his great run in 52, and now he's a guy running around acting kind of like the Joker on an island of a Bill Willingham comic book. Lex Luthor, as many of you may know, is my absolute favorite character in comics. Not the Lex Luthor that's running around now, but the Lex Luthor that has a very clear and guided purpose based in the jealousy and anger at the fact that Superman had everything that he wanted, most importantly Lois Lane. He wanted to control Metropolis, he wanted to have the girl of his dreams, which was Lois, and he ended up kind of screwed. He was second fiddle to a guy who used his brawn over his brains, and he ended up losing the girl to Clark Kent, this little pencil-pushing writer. And we all know how wussy writers are. Anyway, so yeah, this arc starts, and it gets larger and larger to the point of where he learns Clark's secret, and that's kind of flopped, and then he kind of becomes the president, and when he becomes the president, he has all the power in the world, and they didn't really do that much with it other than have him kind of be what he was before, standing in front of the window and laughing, ha ha ha, I have power and you can't touch me. And this happened for 4 years, and then Loeb wrote the Downfall, which is pretty decent, and then he suddenly started becoming the Nya villain. He used to be the kind of Silver Age, oh yes, I will destroy you, because I have all this technology in my pocket. Even Jeff Johns, who I greatly admire, is using the Nya Lex Luthor, saving up in a way where he was very masterfully characterized. As for now, he's kind of become this character that he's considered evil, even though that doesn't really make sense given what was going from 52, where he was still playing the Machiavellian thing. And he's kind of become a guy who just goes after being evil for the sake of being evil. There doesn't seem to be much of a character motivation, so they drop him in Salvation Run, which I'm not reading anymore because the first 2 issues were enough to scare me off, and he just seems to be taking charge there. I think what needs to be done in order to make Luthor a viable character again is not the reset button where you constantly absolve him of all of his evils, but to actually write a storyline that focuses on his motivation and marries him with his Silver Age counterpart, at least in this continuity. Or, hey, a reboot of continuity, which might be happening in Final Crisis anyway. But anyway, the House of Luthor edition of Bailey Planet says, unfortunately, that Lex Luthor seems to be in a bit of a sorry shape. Yeah, sorry state of affairs, and I hope for that to get better soon.